thunderstorms right now here in southeastern Pennsylvania with the risk of strong damaging winds and a tornado. We've got a tornado warning in effect.
We sure do. Things have really fired up pretty quickly over the last half an hour to an hour in southeastern Pennsylvania. You can see some of the lightning strikes associated with these storms and then the different warnings. Let's get into the tornado warned zone here for you. This is now just east of Honeybrook, but does now include us in and around East Nantmeal.
This is parts of Chester County, includes South Coventry, Wallace, West Nantmeal. As we continue to watch this, generally everything is moving to the east or northeast at about 35 miles per hour. But you can see, maybe right next to it, that there's a big severe thunderstorm warning as well, which includes Phoenixville and Norristown. And so we're watching this whole area.
Yeah, it looked a little bit better earlier when it came to the velocity mode, looking at the rotation, but Doppler radar indicated rotation with this particular storm, crossing over 76 and then tracking on off towards the north and the east from there. Yeah. And another warning here, Jen, as you work your way closer towards the coast, that's moving its way through Atlantic City.
All right, so we're watching, again, the risk for some strong damaging winds coming out of that and maybe some small hail as well. This whole area is in a watch, a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect until 6 o'clock this evening. We're going to watch this area for thunderstorms right now, but new ones may still develop in the same zone.
Yeah, hence the reason that watch goes out for several more hours. You see the area of red, we're most concerned with that severe threat. All areas in the red, the possibility does exist. The biggest threat that we will face, those strong and potentially damaging wind gusts and also some hail.
Yeah, so it's going to be a stormy one out here as we get through the afternoon. Let's go ahead and show you that future radar. We have thunderstorms that will pop. Remember, what we've got is our system still hanging back in western Pennsylvania. So the tail of that kind of swings down here through northern Virginia through this afternoon. D.C., Leesburg, that includes you. We get it over into Salisbury and through the Chesapeake Bay area all the way through early evening.
So by the time we get to about 8 or 9 o'clock now, the bulk of these storms now pushing offshore. Any marine interests, I would certainly say avoid trying to get out there on the boats once we get in towards the early evening, because these storms will mean business.
We get the tail of that in Virginia Beach later this evening, about 10 or 11 o'clock or so, and finally after that it's through and we have an improved situation and we can finally push all that weather offshore.
Yeah, much better heading into our Saturday morning, at least across the mid-Atlantic. Weather though, northbound for our Saturday, that's where the rain is expected to continue from around NYC northbound up through Maine. Saturday filled with clouds and you'll be dealing with showers. Now, it should start to taper off from south to north, but it's going to take a while across northern New England.
But remember this pattern that we've been stuck in, everything kind of curls up and around, so we get stuck in this through the weekend up into northern New England, at least the clouds lingering through the end of Sunday. Maybe we can finally take the rain out of here.
Yeah, so I guess yet again, another area where we are dealing with more unsettled skies. We've got the northeast, but we also have the south where, yet again, Dr. Postel could be looking at another round that tries to sneak back in. We've seen it this morning, more to come.
Yeah, we're almost saying goodbye to this round this morning. The worst weather, I think, has now moved into the Gulf of Mexico, but still some heavy rain and some residual flooding across parts of the deep south. The system of concern is here, as I mentioned. It's shown some weakening trends in the recent hours, but still there's a shot at some damaging wind gusts that are left over from this complex moving along the way. There's a severe thunderstorm warning here, again, for the possibility of some pretty strong wind gusts, and another severe thunderstorm warning way out ahead of it here for including Leon, Liberty, and McCulloch counties in Florida. That's for this collapsing thunderstorm complex, which is not as strong as it once was, but look, it's still bringing heavy rain with a flash flooding threat, now probably the biggest of all as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, the worst of it. Look at some of these radar estimates of rainfall just in the last 24 hours. Almost 20 inches of rain, not far from Pensacola. That's a radar estimate, but we've seen observations that back that up somewhere over 16 inches across some of the same regions. So it's not out of the question that places have got between 16 and 20 inches in just the last day of rain. Now, this storm, as I mentioned, is the worst of it moving offshore. There is not that much instability here over the interior sections, which is why the northern part of this storm complex is weakening. The fuel is just not there. The fuel is out over the water or hugging the coast, and that's why the southern part of this thunderstorm group is hanging on, and it will continue that way. So we'll say goodbye to that one during the next few hours, I think, with a gradual weakening trend, and then a new one, as Alex is mentioning, and Jen, developing over parts of Arkansas. That's because there's a little suspicious swirly right now that we were talking about all morning long over, oh, I don't know, Kansas and Oklahoma that by later on this afternoon might initiate new development here. And you can only guess where it's going to go, and it's going to be likely in this direction as all the storms have done for the last several nights and will continue to do so likely through the weekend.